Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Brev. Welcome to What Would Brev Do, episode 26. This is the series where I, a top player, walk you through an entire ranked seasons game from start to finish and talk about what's going on in my head the entire time. If you guys are new to the channel, or if you would just like to help me out, you could drop a like on the video and subscribe for more MLB The Show content. I post a ton of it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Today, I'm going to be pitching with this Dinelson Lamet card, which is one of my favorite pitcher cards released in all of Finest. Insane per nines. I love the pitch repertoire, the primary slider. He throws his off speed really hard, which is good for tunneling. And yeah, I'm hopefully going to be able to show you guys kind of like a pitching tips for Dinelson Lamet, because he is one of my favorite pitchers, and maybe you guys can take something away from this gameplay. We're going to be rocking with the God Squad lineup just to try to get the dub, because we haven't yet made World Series this season. So here we are. I also forgot to check Lamet's quirks, which is something you should do with the Finest cards before you search for a game. He is a night player, so in case we get a home game, we can set our home stadium to a night game, and then he will get a boost to his PCI for the entire time that he's in. His hits per nine and K per nine get slightly boosted in the same way that hitters get boosted from day player and night player. So I love pitching with Lamet. I think he's one of my best pitchers since he's come out. You have to do a lot of things weird with Lumet to be successful, I think. One, you got to understand that his off speed is really hard, and that is good and bad in some senses. If you're throwing off speed traditionally, like low in the zone all the time, it's pretty bad with Lamet because people's bats are naturally going to swing early at those pitches. But with Lamet, if you throw off speed high or inside, it creates situations where you can actually get people swinging late at off speed pitches, which is really how I pitch with him. Sliders up and inside all the time. Same with the changeups in fastball tunnels. And really we pitch backwards a lot, which is not really backwards for Lamet because he's a slider primary, but we're going to be throwing a lot of off speed early in the count and then trying to blow people away later in the count if we can. So that's the game plan. I find Lamet to be very good against lefties, specifically because you can just bust them inside with his slider a lot, like I said. So we're facing Bauer. This guy's got Bellinger, which is the new meta first baseman. And yeah, I have hit against Bauer quite a bit. This game's going to be on a Hall of Fame because we are at 780 rating right now. And for the hitting side, we will just try to be patient. As always, try to pick up on our opponent's tendencies. I have found with Bauer, people tend to overthrow the cutter quite a bit, especially against right-handed pitchers. So early, right-handed hitters is what I meant. So early in the count, we're looking for like spinning cutters that accidentally end up in the middle. Otherwise, we're kind of just taking and seeing what he likes to throw. So far, he's been sinker, cutter, sinker, cutter. It's a 3-1 count now. I could let it rip with Trout, but I'm not going to. I imagine this is a sinker, though. And it was, and he missed his spot. So we get a free leadoff walk there. Here's Willie. He likes the sinker inside, so I'm swinging first pitch. Closed stance as well. He went to the four seam. So good mix-up from him. This is a pretty typical cutter spot. We have to be careful swinging at outside tunnels here because we don't want to roll over a cutter for a double play. So good inside sinker there. He's gone 3 straight hard stuff. We'll see if he goes cutter finally. He did, and we missed it because we're terrible. That PCI, though, yikes. And he threw the up and away slider. We're sending the runner. We'll go back. Oh, no. I just scuffed this. I need to get better with my base running on the plays like that. I need to send my guy, like, I've seen people send their guy, like, almost a step away from second base and then stop him with R2. That is definitely the right way to play that. I just haven't programmed that with my fingers yet. So we turned a double into the single there by being terrible, but now we're in a good spot. We got speed on base, Griffey versus a righty with 2 men on. Again, we're looking for spinning cutters inside or middle early in the count against Bauer, since that is people's favorite pitch to throw with him. Got to keep kind of a quick bat here so he doesn't blow it by us. Nice little check there, get bailed out. There was the cutter, and I imagine he'll go back to some kind of four-seam sinker here. I was wrong. Good mix-up. He's kind of he's not throwing the cutter quite as much as people usually do with Bauer, so maybe he has a lot of experience and has been burned in the past. Just protecting 3-2 here, and we moved our PCI for the cutter, and it was not a cutter. So this is just a product of me going into a game kind of blind, just what I know off of how people usually pitch with a card. But this guy's doing a great job of pitching not that way so far. So it's still early. We've done good for not scoring yet. And again, right on right, especially in a force-out situation, we have to be very careful not to swing at cutters spinning away from us and swinging early at them to roll them over for double plays. So maybe even in a spot like this, it's beneficial just to cheat inside, look for inside tunnels, maybe inside sinkers. I just missed that with Jimmy. We could tag to third here just because it's so deep, and we have 90 speed. Usually you don't want to tag there unless you're 100% certain that you'll make it, because you don't want to make the last out of an inning at third base. So that was a pretty good swing. I can't believe that was 88 off the bat. That's insane. Anyway, moving forward, good slider. We'll see what he comes at us with here. We miss our pitch. Can't be missing those, man. It's my first game of the day. That's my excuse. Good cutter there. There's the typical sequence he's done so far. It'll be interesting to see if he doubles up on that or if he comes inside here. He did come inside. Good pitch. Another four-seam. Just missed it. So we had good timing for all three of our outs. Two of them, the PCI was not on the ball, so I'm not too upset, but that Jimmy Fox one was pretty brutal. Despite that, we worked 26 pitches in the first, so that is a good sign. You know, hitting's a process for us. We're not terribly talented with PCI placement. So here's something I want to say with Lamet. If you guys pitch with pitch trail for your indicator, your pitch indicator, which is the default one, it's the one that looks like red and blue, I would suggest maybe switching to this one I'm using here that shows the arrows, which is called Classic in the settings, because it allows you to throw like from where the ball breaks instead of where the ball breaks to. So on pitch trail, you're putting where the ball's going to end up. On Classic, you're putting where the ball's going to break from. And I think this is really good for Lamet specifically because you can see his slider has exactly enough break to where you can just throw it down the middle with analog. Like, you don't even have to directionally move your thing with his slider, and it'll end up on the corner glove side. So let's bury a changeup here, see if we can get him chasing. I haven't really made him do anything yet. Good block from Jimmy there. And now here's where Lamet really shines. We can go low slider away, we can go high slider away, we can go front door slider, we can throw this pitch, which is what I love in double play situations because people usually chop it for a grounder. That time he got under it, which is pretty unusual, but he was still just a little bit early on it. So that's exactly the swing we want to get from that pitch, the up and away changeup to the righty. So many ground balls on swings like that because it looks like a fastball. So just early from him, honestly a good swing. But the swing we're looking for. So here's where Lamet shines as well. Pitching to a lefty, we can just ride the sliders in on him. They're hard sliders, which I'm a really big fan of because you can jam people specifically with left-handed batters running them inside. And then if I do go outside to a lefty, it's usually with a two-seam just like that. I don't know what Tatis was doing. I was not holding my stick that way. That's incredibly frustrating because that should have been a double play. Once again, we get exactly the swing we're looking for there. Nothing we could do. This is Lamet's one problem, I would say, is sometimes he can throw magnets with his fastball like that pitch was. Didn't really go where we wanted it to. My opponent's doing a great job of being patient himself. We're just going to stick to our game plan here. He was early on that up and in slider. So I'm just going to try this changeup in the dirt one more time just to see if he bites. That's an insane take. And now I'm going to try the backdoor slider here. Beautiful pitch. So this is why I love Lamet, man. You can attack lefties in so many different ways. You can throw his slider to all four corners. He has great control on his slider. It's got the perfect amount of break to throw it with the classic marker and just put it on the corner, like I said. I'm just missing my spots slightly here. And if you notice, we haven't gone up and into a lefty yet, and that's because we're kind of saving it for a situation like this. So this is a pretty good double up spot. The last one was low, and we do get him swinging late and under the pitch. So we set that four-seam up and in up by throwing a ton of sliders up in the zone, which is my favorite pitch with Lamet for sure. And we're able to get him swinging late and under it because he's so used to sliders coming in at that tunnel rather than the four-seam. And Lamet's four-seam really sneaks up on you. It can hit 101 despite not having outlier, so it's a really good fastball, and it really sets up his two-seam as well. If you notice, we only threw one two-seam that whole inning, and we got exactly the result we were looking for. So Lamet's two-seam is great, and if you guys have noticed so far, we're really focusing on pitching to contact more than anything with Lamet. Because of the hard off speed and because of the slight speed differentials between fastballs, you're able to create a lot of weak contact if you can hit your spots and really keep your opponent guessing. So the per 9s help a lot with that too. He's got almost maxed out per 9s. Tried the backdoor cutter on me there. We were having none of it. That's a pretty common pitch, actually. I find people backdoor cutters a lot with Bauer for some reason, like more so than other people, and that may just be a product of people throwing more cutters in general with Bauer. But good sequence from him, honestly, there. That was a lucky swing for us because our mechanics came through for us. And let's see if he sticks to his typical right-on-right sequence, which would be now mean a cutter. I was kind of cheating for a cutter there, and I missed it. 0-2 count here. There was a slider down in the way. Good pitch from him again, but Manny just pulls it, and this is the beauty of being early. Just early on a pitch like that, just rip it in the gap. Manny's really good at hitting balls away early, as are most of the good hitters in this game, like Mookie and Trout. Mookie, a runner in scoring position here. I kind of want to be a little aggressive, but I'm kind of cheating for a sinker, since I'm assuming he's kind of lost confidence in this slow stuff. He might try to attack me with the hard stuff here. He's really relying on that four seam too, because I have not proven I can hit it yet. So, and he is going to the hard stuff, just like I said. We're just not executing with our swing. Let's see if he goes cutter here, just as a mix-up. That was an interesting pitch. Front door slider with Bauer. Don't see it much. Just protecting here. Bat still fast. And we rip it up the middle for... That's going to be an RBI. We should be there. He should throw the cutoff here. Yeah, good throw. The cutoff's probably better than second there. But either way, he's not getting me on at home. So here's a classic case that we always talk about in these episodes. We are in a force-out situation with our pitcher up and nobody out, so we're just going to strike out with our pitcher. Bunting is what you would do in real life, but bunting doesn't really work that way in this game. At least for me, it's not worth the risk of bunting into a double play, especially with someone like Mike Trout and Willie Mays on deck after my pitcher. So we just take the L here, we move on, and now we have 2 outs to work with the heart of our order. And this is also why I talk about the importance of having some pop at the top of your lineup, so when you get in situations like this, you can really threaten with runners on. So back-to-back cutters. Interesting to see if this is for show or if he's really mixing up his sequencing there. That's 3 straight slow pitches, which is pretty unusual for him. And I swung early with Trout. That is what Trout does. I wonder why he went to such an extreme there. I did have that ball in my PCI, but it was kind of the swing he was looking for, so kind of the same situation we were in first inning with our pitching. But I wonder if he was just doing that sequence for Trout, or if my ripping the fastball up the middle really affected his sequencing. I missed a couple of cookies this at bat, but I want to kind of chill after I hit a big home run. I've talked about that before too. So often I swing first pitch after I hit a bomb, and I kind of wasted a lot of at bats that way. So I'm doing my best to kind of just chill, especially recently after I hit home runs, because it's been extra bad. Like, my discipline has been not as good. Probably a product of not playing as much and it being later in the year where I'm not as focused, I would say. He could easily go up and into me here. Good pitch. Just protecting. I'm getting lucky with the amount of foul balls I'm hitting as well. He's put some great pitches on. There's the up and in. I wasn't ready that time. That's a disgusting location. The up and in is really what we should have been cheating for there, especially with Willie up in the closed stance, but he just put it in the perfect spot, and we weren't looking for it because he set us up with the fastball. Alright, so the hard stuff is definitely working more for him than the cutter, which is a product of our approach. So it seems as if he's picked up on this, and so as an adjustment, we will try to keep our bat a little fast moving forward. That was his first curveball I think he's thrown all game, and it looked like a hanger, but it actually broke a ton. Bauer's curveball breaks more than you think it does, and I think it's really good at getting swings like that, which is early in the count contact outs. Like, there's no reason I should have swung at that pitch, but I did because it looked juicy. So here we are. Alright, so back to Lumet, which I guess was the point of this video. Again, you can see just how much I'm pitching inside to lefties, and I threw an accidental backdoor there. And so because I threw a pitch there, I'm just going to tunnel this with a changeup and try to get him to roll it over. As he does. Ended up lower than I wanted, but still a good pitch. But I just love Lumet so much. You're throwing slider, four-seam, changeup almost exclusively. He's almost like a reliever in that sense. But you can sequence so well with those three pitches, and there's just nothing quite like a right-handed pitcher that can just pitch inside to lefties the entire game, because it sets you up to go outside, which is the most important thing you can do to try to stay away from the barrel. Good on him hitting the two-seamer there. We got really lucky on that line out. We missed our spot with the two-seam. And really I should be saving that two-seam for double play situations or times where I'm behind in the count and I think he's going to cheat and swing early. But again, we're throwing a lot of first pitch sliders because that's Lumet's best pitch. He's going to be safe on this. With a guy like Lumet, like mixing up your sequencing is important, but like you really have to rely on the slider, and your opponent's going to know that. So really it's a factor of staying ahead in the count so you can set up your other pitches. And so if they do sit on the slider, they are forced to swing early in the count and kind of take a risk by doing that, if that makes sense. So he's probably taking Bauer out here. Depending on the state of his bullpen / rotation, this is probably the right move, considering he's down by 4 already. And we're going to face Juan Soto. I don't know how I feel about Soto off the bench here. It's not that high leverage of a situation. I'd almost want Soto later in the game, but Soto may be the worst of the 2 or 3 lefties he has on the bench. So you can see just where I'm placing these sliders. Like, look where that slider ended up. That is so gross, and now we can tunnel this fastball with the slider we just threw, and that is a beautiful, beautiful sequence. So that fastball I threw looked exactly like the slider, the pitch before, but it never broke in the zone, and he swung late. And that is the beauty of Lumet, and that's really how I think you have success pitching with Dinelson Lamet, is you tunnel high and you tunnel inside. And those are 2 very scary things to do on this game, but if you can do it right and you can hit your spots, it's going to work out for you with Lamet, and he has the beauty of being able to throw all those pitches hard. So if someone's not quite ready for what you throw, they're going to end up late on it, which is much better than like a loopy slider like someone like Chris Sale throws. You can't really throw that as effectively high in the zone because it's just too slow and loopy. Good sequence there, sinker cutter, sinker cutter. I'm going to get bailed out again. That's a disgusting hit. But I imagined his sequencing won't be much different than it was with Bauer. Facing Oral out of the pen is kind of annoying in December, not going to lie. But we do what we got to do out here in these streets. But we're keeping a fast bat again. Oral's another guy where people usually throw the cutter more than the sinker, so because this guy's pitched kind of backwards of that, I'm trying to keep a fast bat for the sinker. And this is the product of swinging early, man. I've swung early twice, and I'm really trying to reprogram myself recently, man. I noticed that from MLB 17, where being late was great, my brain was never really programmed to fix that, and being late side of good this year, we all know, is terrible. So I'm really making a conscious effort to speed my bat up and try to swing. If I'm going to take a bad swing, for it to be early rather than late. So it's worked out for me this game. I've gotten several bailed out early swings for multiple RBIs. So there's an example of the opposite. That is why you want to swing early. This guy is not having a good time. That's been happening a lot too. The outfielders aren't locking onto balls near the wall anymore. I don't know what they did in the last patch, but it's been an issue. Cheating for a sinker there because I thought I might be mad and throw a primary pitch. Good job not doing that by him. When you can feel people start to get tilted, sometimes they just press X and go. So that's why I swung as if that was a sinker there. But he did a good job, first pitch cutter. He shouldn't be trying to front door me here because I've shown that I'll swing in 2 strikes and my bat's fast, so he should be trying to go away from me. Still looking for the sinker here. Yeah, that's what he should be doing. We get another RBI on an early swing. But that's the sequencing. That's a great pitch. So I don't know how we scored 7. Also, sorry if my personality is a little like condensed in this video. I'm trying to record this like on my lunch break and while my wife is working in the other room. So if I seem kind of boring in this one or really quiet, that's why, and I apologize. Should have swung that, but I was talking. That's something that happens a lot, especially on stream. Feels bad. But he's still kind of nibbling, so I don't feel that bad about it. He may come in with a sinker here just to get me over. Nope. All right, 3-1. I'm not swinging for multiple reasons. One, we could get Trout up with Mookie on if I walk. And two, Mookie has a 2-strike quirk, so we do get a little bit of a PCI size boost in a 3-2 count here. So, did I swing at that? I did not. Dude, I am actually getting so lucky this game. I don't know what I was looking for there. I kind of just decided if it was a sinker, I was going to swing. So there we are. That's how you work a walk. You take horrible check swings. You swing early all inning, and you score 7 runs in 2 1/3 on Hall of Fame. So here we are striking out with our pitcher again. Same reason as earlier. We already made that decision in the Mookie at bat. If you heard me say I want Trout up with 2 outs, that's what I meant. And now we're cheating sinker first pitch, which he did not throw us. Now we're cheating sinker second pitch because that's also a common sequence. Dude, he is mixing up so well. I feel bad that I've scored 7. See, he's really not pitching bad. There's the sinker, but we swung over the top. That's kind of how I hit against Oral too, pretty typically. You can kind of just cheat sinker cutter, especially if you have leverage in the at-bat. They'll eventually throw you one. It's very rare for someone to throw like the same pitch over and over and over with Oral, unless they're onto your tendencies somehow. So that was a nice little 7-pi/6 4-seam, which we talked about in the Kershaw video. It ended up at not there, but he still swung over the top. And I'll have to show you guys my batting average against with Lamet after this game, if I can remember. Actually, righties are hitting much worse than lefties against Lamet, but lefties are still hitting bad. So that's the beauty of Lamet. Again, he can pitch to lefties well while also getting righties out at just as inefficient way. So he's down 7. I gotta imagine he's being pretty patient in a 3-0 count, so I'm gonna just throw a couple get me overs. One was a 4-seam, there's a slider, and he pops it out. So Lamet, slider, fastball. You notice I'm saving the changeups and I'm saving the 2-seams for when I really need contact outs, or if I think he's going to be really aggressive, which is a spot like here. He just popped out on a slider, didn't miss it by much, so he's probably swinging first pitch, and we want that higher, so I'm just going to throw it again. But this up and away changeup with Lamet, because it's a hard changeup, people kind of react as if it's a fastball sometimes, and they'll swing early and roll it over. I talked about that earlier. You notice I also love this down and in 4-seam to lefties because it sets up this slider tunnel, which is very common, and most people will actually lay off that low and in 4-seam because they're just expecting it to be a back foot slider, since that would be the most common pitch from a guy with a slider primary. Missed our spot horribly there, so now is where we save the 2-seam for. So this is a full count. He's going to be letting it rip. We want to throw the 2 instead of the 4 to try to get him swinging early, which we did. He swung just early. Now I really don't want to walk him, so I'm just going to try to throw a get me over slider here. And good swing by him again, but he lines out. So we are getting lucky with the contact outs, but this is how it is with Lamet. Pitching to weak contact, saving the 2-seam and changeup for when you really need them, and really just pounding sliders and 4-seams, pounding sliders inside to lefties. Not throwing many 4-seams, but throwing them when you can. All right, double sinker to Mays. And I swung very late, so I will speed my bat up here in case he triples up. And I was still late. I don't know, my brain kind of decided that it might be a cutter last second. There was a lot of neurons firing before that pitch was thrown, and they were all incorrect. So triple sinker there. Actually pretty common sequence to Mays because he crowds the plate. I should have done better in that at bat. We had the information to know that was going to be the sequence, and we just didn't convert on that. So you can see he's pitching me inside a lot with Griffey as well. I don't like swinging early in the count with guys that are auto-shifted, especially Griffey, who's like an insane pull hitter on this game. So that's why I'm being kind of patient. If he throws me something outside that I can go away with, just like that. Did I hit that out? Oh, I thought that was going to be gone for a second. So I'm trying to hit against the shift there, something middle or outside that I can swing late at to kind of go against the shift. That's kind of how I counter that. So that was perfectly executed. It looked like a bad swing just because it was so, like, I looked so late on it, but that is exactly what we're trying to do. And I imagine he will throw another sinker here, the double up. Dude. My man has me off balance. What she got? There's the sinker. We get our own line out to center field, which he has definitely earned. He has lined out several times. Fox with a couple brutal at-bats so far this game. And I just ripped that sinker, so I imagine he'll go cutter here. Front door slider. I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or if he misses his spot. I really should have swung at that too. So this is the sequence with Trout where he's going really slow. So I gotta imagine this is a cutter here. Spun my bat up when I saw the up and in tunnel. This is why hitting with tunnels is kind of good. So anything inside I'm just assuming is a sinker, like if it comes to an inside tunnel, and then if it's outside I'm assuming it's slower, just like that. So that was a line out, but that was actually a beautiful at bat. If you guys want to learn how to like hit behind in the count, that's usually my approach that I go with when I'm behind in the count. Is I just assume pitches are in certain tunnels based on what are the common pitches. So like an inside tunnel there, if it looks like it's coming to the inside part of the plate, I just assume it's a sinker, so I speed my bat up. And if it's outside, I assume it's a cutter, so I have a slower bat. And that was a slider, and we ripped it oppo for a line out, but overall really good at bat. Gonna try this back foot slider again. I haven't hit my spot with it yet. I keep missing, and that was even a really bad miss, and he swung at it. So that's we set up that slider perfectly with this pitch, which we have thrown several times this game, so we'll just go right back to it. And we probably shouldn't have doubled up there because it was pretty obvious we were going to try to like play him like that. So good swing. Missed our spot a little bit, but that's what Griffey does. This is actually, I'm happy I'm facing this guy in this lineup with Lumet, because I have just now noticed that like literally so many lefties are switch hitters that I've been pitching against. So let's try to stay away from Chipper here, just as like a mix-up. Missed my spot a couple times there. And this is also another cute pitch you can throw, the up and away backdoor slider. Really nasty, especially with how hard he throws his slider. And if you miss your spot like that, you can still get swings and misses. So we're going to do the same four-seam tunnel after the high slider that we got him swinging at earlier. Got him to swing again. He was late. Let's try this backdoor slider again, and then if he fouls this one off or it's a ball, we will go low again. So good on him. Now let's try the back foot, going low like I said. Then we can try to paint the four seam in the same tunnel. Just setting him up. Beautiful pitch from Lumet. I love pitching with this card, dude. It is great. Alright, last time we went four seam inside. Let's go change up. I'm really missing my spot with that change up. Should really be sticking slider four seam early in the count, but we've gotten bailed out a couple times. Good swing by him with Griffey though, makes it 7-1. Lou Gehrig's 2 for 2. And I have not logged much information on my left on right at bats against this guy. So I noticed that's a mistake I've made so far, because I don't really know what to expect there. He kind of gave us 2 cookies, and I missed the cutter, swung late side of good. But those are the at-bats you can kind of get away with not knowing as much. It's really the right on right matchups for sinker cutter where you really have to come to play. Late side of good for a bomb with Machado, dude. I am getting rewarded for so much stuff. Like, I'm not saying that swing shouldn't be rewarded. I'm just saying it's quite often not rewarded on this game. So I'm just having, I guess I'm having a not unlucky game at the plate, which feels good. Feels good when you're getting not unlucky. You know what I mean? Sinker down the middle. Mookie for a double. And now we actually get to swing away with Lumet because we can't bunt and do a double play. How exciting is this? We're going to wait till 2 strikes, though. Try to get that pitch count up for Oral. Try to make it hurt a little extra that he had to throw 2 starters in this game. And maybe we can get Oral out after this inning if we can get the pitch count high enough to the point where he doesn't really want to stick to him and he is trying to come back. So he's trying to build up confidence for his off-speed pitches against my pitcher, which I like. We got to keep a fast bat for a sinker here, which he did throw, but way too high. That was a fast bat for me, dude. Hitting with pitchers is so hard. All right, 3-2 for Lumet. If it's anywhere close, I'm taking this because I'm probably not getting a hit, and a walk would be amazing. It was pretty much a hanger. I just hit a perfect with Lumet. Dude, that's actually nuts, that PCI placement. Dang, I wish that was a bomb. That was cool. Was not expecting to do that. 86 mile an hour, perfect. I should post that on social media and say that I got screwed and not show who hit the ball. Another inside sinker to Trout. I think I got all this, actually. Yeah, I did. Another late side of good rewarded. I don't know why the ball's so juiced this game, but I will take it. And last time he went sinker double up after giving up a bomb. Actually, no, he went cutter. So that's twice now he's given up a bomb and then gone slow. He's cheating for the cutter there. There's a product of this outside tunnel. It's okay to take swings like that. We're really just fishing for pitches that we're sitting on. A strike is a strike, right? It looks really bad that I swung too late at that, but if it was a cutter, I would have destroyed that pitch. 3-1 with Willie. I'm looking for things like right here, and I'm keeping a fast bat in case it's a sinker down the middle. Okay, that works. And he saw us cheating a little bit, but I gotta assume he's just going sinker yet again. And he is. And we rip it up the middle for a single. So sinker's the most effective pitch he's had against Willie Mays all game. So it was kind of obvious he would go sinker there in that 3-2 count because he's not going to walk me. Now we have Brad Hand, who I have no idea what to think because he hasn't really thrown a pitcher like this yet this game. It's all been sinker cutter, not sinker slider. So I guess I'll just keep a slow bat and look slider. Since Griffey is another one of those cards that is really good at pulling away pitches early for home runs, or just getting sliders down the middle for home runs. I guess you guys can learn a lot from hitting this game too. Like, I don't know. People, I'm definitely overly patient at the plate at times, but really I'm just sitting on something. You know, it's not that far from real life. Like, there, I told you guys, I don't know what to expect, so I'm just looking for hanging sliders. And we got one. Missed that with Jimmy. I don't know what that PCI placement was. I'm a dirty center swinger. And we go to the 5th. So, if we only give up 1 or less in this inning, it is GG for a mercy rule. We will stick with Lumet and our classic sequencing. Lots of sliders. I'm really pitching actually really bad with him, location-wise. I promise he's better at locating the slider than what I've shown in this video. But either way, like, another beauty of Lumet with his slider against righties is if you miss, it's usually outside. And then we just go 2-0 fastball. He's sitting slider. Easy pop out. 1 down in the 5th. Who's going to be the pinch hitter here? Should be someone lowish leverage. I guess maybe high leverage if it's he's going to get mercied soon, but Ortiz. All right. Going to go change up first pitch in our classic low and in tunnel. Get him early. Yeah. We've thrown so many first pitch four seams right there. That was a good spot for the changeup. I'm actually just going to abuse this low and in spot for a little bit. You can see how early his bat is, and we've set that up all game by starting off lefties with four seamers low and in quite frequently. And we bury the changeup. Finally got him to bite on that. That's the 3rd or 4th time we tried it, and we got him swinging. That's another thing I've incorporated to my pitching a lot recently, is just burying one just to see, because I think I give my opponents a little bit too much credit at times. Where I used to never throw changeups in the dirt because I just assumed they wouldn't swing at it because I don't swing at it. But you never know, dude. Alright. So he's early on that, I think. Yeah, just early. So we're going to stay away from Seager here, actually. Try to finish off the game away since we've been inside the whole time. Maybe we can get some cheap contact over here. Just taking this at bat to kind of throw off the sequencing, much like he did with the Trout at bat for us. Although it didn't work out for him. 3-1, just going to throw me a give-me over. Don't want to walk him. I don't lose the mercy if I give up a solo bomb there. So you could argue I can maybe go fastball there, but I'm just not going to walk him given the circumstances. Didn't really hit our spot either. We'll do the double up so we don't fall into the tendency of not throwing that pitch again. And we just miss our spot. Let's try a high slider now. We're just fishing for a contact out here. He's doing a good job hanging in there. Last time we went 2-0, fastball up and in, so let's throw a changeup inside. Again, we're keeping track of things. We're taking notes. We're trying to, dang it, bro. He was late-sided good on that. Maybe I outplayed myself that at bat. I don't know. Good job sitting on the change. That sucks, man, actually. We missed our spot again. So we go to the 6th. Dang, I thought this was GG. All right. Lamet. Hope you guys have learned a little bit in this video. We've thrown a nice amount of pitches so far. And he's going to go to Mariano Rivera. You can make the argument for me to pinch hit for Lamet here, depending on how important it is for us to drive in a run here, like if it's 2 outs, runners in scoring position or something. Alright, hitting against Mo, again, another cutter sinker pitcher, so I'm just going to try to rely on our information from earlier, from the Bauer and from the Oral pitching. Lots of front door slow stuff, also a lot of sinkers inside, not as many cutters away. So that's kind of what we've decided. So here, I imagine this will be sinker inside or something hard. He did go 4-seam, good mix-up. There's the front door or the inside slow stuff. Got to protect against that one. Sinker away, we're battling. Good pitch. I might be safe on this. Nah, he pulled up and fired. Dang. He made basically 4 borderline pitches. After that, we got to 3-2, so good on him. We were just kind of waiting for him to miss a spot one time for us to either crank it or get a walk, and he never did. So good location. Gehrig again. I feel like he's gone inside with hard stuff a lot. Yeah, I was going to say sinker there. We'll see. Up the middle base hit. Again, hard stuff inside. He's kind of pitching us pretty similarly to how we're pitching him, honestly. Lots of hard stuff inside the lefties. I don't know how much better it is with sinker cutter than with Lamet's hard slider, but it's still good. Cheating sinker there. We were very early. We were cheating so hard. He doubled up on that after I turned on it. Weird. Good front door cutter there. Again, abusing us inside. Cannot roll over on an away pitch here. Gonna have a slow bat. A cutter away, swinging early is a death sentence here. So our bat is slow. Good job throwing away sinkers. We're battling again. Dang, we didn't swing early and we still hit the double play. Dang it, bro. This game's really going to go 9 innings. Feels so bad. More time pitching with Lumet. The one knock on Lumet, well, one of the knocks against Lumet that should be mentioned is that his stam is kind of small. Only 104 stamina for Lumet, so right around 90 pitches is kind of his limit. So just keep that in mind when you're throwing him. I'm not saying you have to take him out at 90 pitches, but that's when he gets around the yellow energy, and that's when your opponent's PCI starts to grow a little bit. So just keep that in mind. We're at 70 right now, so we're chilling. And I think I'm just going to try to stay away from him just a little bit now. He's done a great job adjusting to our sequencing so far. We hit him with the nice 5 pi over 6 for the mantle at bat, and then we come in with a 7 pi over 6 to start this one. And that's our pretty common pitch that I said I was going to stay away from, and he crushed it. So let's try to bury this changeup again. Let's see if he calms down a bit and lays off. He did not. Jimmy Fox doing Jimmy Fox things. Still got him. 2 down. Good pitch from Lumet again. So he was not chasing that earlier, and now he has chased it twice in a row. Maybe a product of him pressing, maybe a product of him being tilted. Maybe a product of our sequencing low in the zone, kind of setting him up a little bit. Let's try up and in here. I haven't thrown it in a while. I think he was late on that. Ooh, he was early. Alright, well now he's getting a 2-seam. If he's early on the 4-seam, he's getting a 2-seam. Could not have thrown a worse pitch there. Let's try it again. My man has 382 hits with chipper. That is insane. Great spot for Lumet there. All right, let's go score a couple and make it so Lumet gets this complete game. Betts Lumet Trout. I'm just going to swing for his pitch here with the quirk. Probably a sinker. The one time he like completely misses his spot. Unbelievable. Okay. He's pitching me away here, which is kind of weird with the shift on. Maybe he's not meaning to. Cheating cutter there. 2 strikes now. He tried to front door the cutter, and we kind of missed it, honestly, but Mookie's just a beast. And the 2-strike quirk is not to be overlooked. That's beautiful because now we just let Lumet swing away again. Another low leverage at bat for our pitcher, which is 2 in a row. So we aren't forced to strike out on purpose, which is always fun. Again, taking till 2 strikes though, just to work the pitch count up. We're probably not getting a hit anyways. So we just work the pitch count up, especially with the reliever in the game and the fact that he's taxed his bullpen quite a bit. If he's not paying attention too much in this inning, we could definitely start seeing our PCI grow against Mariano. He's up near 30 pitches, which I think, depending on prestige, if it's prestige like Prestige Mariano, starts getting in the yellow right around 35 pitches. So we can even R2 here really quickly and check his energy, but it already looks like he's warming other people up. Yeah, he's in the yellow already, so he must have been a little tired coming in. So this is an opportunity now for us where our PCI is going to start to grow. And I just missed that pitch. There's nothing we can really do with that information. Like, we don't want to take a ton of pitches and make it grow more because we don't want to, like, miss a pitch like that he just threw, but it's nice. I don't know what I'm looking for there. He's thrown inside to Willie like everyone does, and I just haven't switched my brain to counter it. It's alright. Willie still went 2 for 5, and that was a bad game. I love Willie, dude. Alright. Can we get a shutdown inning from Lamet and get out of here? Gonna stay away some more. He's turned on to the inside stuff, and this is just something you guys should always do. Is you should notice if your opponent is picking up on your tendencies and adjusting well. So he has adjusted very well, and so we're trying to.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
This is probably a stupid pitch. I'll do it away. I want him to think I'm throwing that changeup low again. Ooh, he still swung. Alright, let's try to tunnel it now. I forget what I was saying before, I apologize. He did swing again, he did bite. Alright, let's try the back door, or the back foot. Too many baseball terms, bruh. Good take, didn't really end up where we wanted it. Let's try this pitch again, which is one of my favorites. The up and in slider. Great tunnel there. Pretty common for me to try to go fastball up and in after that, so I'm just going to double up, try to catch him 1 step ahead of me, and he was. Beautiful sequence again. Even though we've given up 3 so far in 6 1/3, I feel like we've done a great job of showing you guys some sequences that you can really roll with Lumet or other guys like this. Like, this is pretty similar to how I pitch with DeGrom. This guy's really rocking 3 lefties on the bench. Interesting. Pitching with DeGrom is kind of similar to how I pitch with Lumet, and I will do an episode on DeGrom as well. But the hard slider really just allows you to pitch this way, and I think it's one of the best pitches in the game. If you guys have noticed and watched a lot of my videos as well, it's really pretty similar to how we pitch with Kershaw as well. But Lamet's like a beastly Kershaw. Like, he's got insane per 9s, and he actually throws it with velocity. So, last time I went 3-1, get me over slider. He took me deep with Seager. So I'm going to try to be a little more careful and go 4-seam up. He was late on it. Can Willie close it out? Let's go, Willie. All right, GG's. 91 pitches for Lumet, which is what I said exactly when he's going to be in the yellow energy. Again, apologize for my personal low energy in this video. Again, I'm trying to be slightly quiet since I am doing this during the workday. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful. If you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure to comment down below. Lumet's slider is nasty. Appreciate and love all you guys. Also, if you have any questions, drop them below as well. I'll do my best to answer. Take care, friends. I'll see you next time.